Hello, today I will be reading Where the Wild Things Are by Stories and Book by Maurice Sandak. I actually do not have a copy of the book, so I am reading it offline on a PowerPoint PDF. So here it goes. Where the Wild Things Are. Stories and Pictures by Maurice Sandak. Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one of a kind and another, his mother called him "Wild Thing," and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to his bed without eating anything. Now, do you think his mom really wanted to eat him up? That very night in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until a ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. Now, do you think his imagination grew in his room, or his room actually grew into a forest of trees and vines? And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. What do you think the wild things are? And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth, and roared with their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Do you think he's scared of the wild things? Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes, and staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. So maybe Max was frightening the wild things. And made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. So now Max feels very powerful. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat, so he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We'll love you too." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars, gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye, and sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. Thank you.